Story 7. This was all very well for Johnny and Tina, but if you are kind children with soft hearts, you will perhaps feel sorry for the poor deceived dragon chained up in the dungeon. When he understood that he had been tricked, poor dragon began to weep, and his large tears fell down over his rusty plates. And presently he began to feel faint from hunger and tiredness. And when the poor creature dried his eyes and looked about him, he saw the tub of bread and milk. He tasted a little and liked it so much that he ate it all up. And the next time Johnny came, the dragon said shyly, "Excuse my troubling you, but could you bring me a little more bread and milk?" So Johnny agreed to feed the dragon with bread and milk every day. Children collected their bread and milk for the dragon with great pleasure, because they were fed at the town's expense on cakes and buns and sweet things. 10 years passed. Johnny married Tina, and on their wedding morning they went to see the dragon. He was quite tame, and his rusty plates had fallen off in places, and underneath he was soft and furry, so they stroked him. And he said, "I can't imagine eating anything but bread and milk. I am a tame dragon now. I am so tame, won't you undo me?" Johnny and Tina were so happy on their wedding day that they could not believe any harm of anyone in the world. So they loosed the chains, and the dragon said, "Excuse me, there are 1 or 2 little things I'd like to fetch." And he moved off to those mysterious steps and went down them into the darkness. And as he moved, more and more of his rusty plates fell off. In a few minutes, they heard him clanking up the steps. He brought something in his mouth. It was a bag of gold. "It's no good to me," he said. "Perhaps you will find it useful." So they thanked him very kindly. Then the dragon fetched more and more and more, till they told him to stop. So now they were rich, and so were their fathers and mothers. Indeed, everyone was rich, and there were no more poor people in the town. And as the dragon came out of the dungeon, following Johnny and Tina into the bright sunshine, he blinked his eyes and shook himself as a cat. The last of his plates dropped off, and his wings with them, and he was just like a very, very big cat. And from that day he grew furrier and furrier, and he was the beginning of all cats. Nothing of the dragon remained except the claws, which all cats still have. You see now how important it is to feed your cat with bread and milk. If it eats nothing but mice and birds, it may grow larger and fiercer, and get wings, and turn into the beginning of dragons. And then there would be all the bother over again.